Hey folks, Jackdaw here with my first Dragon Age 4 news update of 2022. I hope you're all having a great start to the new year. We've already got a few news updates to talk about regarding the development of the next Dragon Age game. So let's delve straight into this, starting with BioWare's brand new blog post by the studio's general manager, Gary McKay. It's been just over a year since Gary McKay took over as the general manager of BioWare since Casey Hudson's departure. In this brand new blog post, Gary shared about where BioWare are right now at the start of 2022, exploring some thoughts and plans for the future. I'm going to trim a lot of this article down, uncovering Gary's overall message. So, Gary started this article regarding the continued uncertainty of the pandemic and how it's changed the studio's process and working situation. Despite that, BioWare continues to adapt to these ever-changing circumstances. On an incredibly exciting notion, Mass Effect Legendary Edition had an incredible reception. The studio is so proud to have released one of the highest rated games on console, and the reception really underscores the value of striving for excellence and quality in every element of a game. Gary followed that up with the challenges that the studio have endured through the pandemic. The teams have adopted new tools, processes and ways to communicate. They're balancing personal time and work, and each person is dealing with their own unique situation. The biggest challenge continues to be the uncertainty of it all, which makes everyone's life more difficult and makes it hard to plan for the future. In spite of those difficulties, the studio has come together, helping each other out even in their personal lives. They've shown up for each other and pulled together as a team. The pandemic has taught the studio about how they can work together, even while working across North America from hundreds of different locations. With those adaptations, BioWare has applied that to a new work model that will ensure flexibility for everyone in the studio. Their goal is to lean into the things that everybody likes about working from home, while also giving people the opportunity to return to the office with more flexibility. Going forward, BioWare has new challenges, creating a hybrid work approach and focusing on new tech that will maximize collaboration and communication between on-site and remote people. Another subtle but very important change the studio has made is in their hiring practices. Previously, BioWare only looked for people willing to relocate to Austin and Edmonton. However, now the team looks for new talent from anywhere in North America. And more to the point, the studios remain hard at work on the next iteration of Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Gary has seen some incredible work from both teams. If you're curious about Mass Effect, Gary encourages that you take a look at the poster that was released on N7 Day. Apparently, if we look closely, there are a handful of hidden treats. By Gary's count, there are at least 5 surprises, all of which point to an amazing future in the Mass Effect universe. As for Dragon Age, BioWare has a veteran team of talented developers working on the next iteration of the franchise. They are focused on a single-player experience that is built on choices that matter. When Gary took on this general manager role, he talked about rebuilding BioWare's reputation, and that remains a huge priority. BioWare are laser-focused on building back the trust of their fans and community, and they plan to do that by delivering the types of games that they are best known for and ensuring that they are of the highest quality. Their mission is to create worlds of adventure, conflict, and companionship that inspire you to become the hero of your story. And Gary wants the launch of their games to be seminal moments in the industry. He wants each game to earn the kind of reception they saw with Mass Effect Legendary Edition. BioWare and EA feel that they have the right people, the right creative focus, and the right support from EA to deliver on that promise. Ultimately, Gary and more apropos BioWare cannot wait for everyone to see what they've been working on, and they look forward to sharing more in the future. As a whole, I think this entire article is fantastic. Now, I do have a few of my own personal thoughts on key parts of this article, as per usual, and I'm going to delve into. First of all, last year, Dragon Age producer Celia Costa spoke on the challenges that the studio have endured throughout the entire pandemic and the adaptations made to ensure the developers are happy and the game's development can continue at a steady pace. It's absolutely great to hear that a year on from that news update, the conditions within BioWare are always improving and putting people first, ensuring that those who like remote work can continue to work from home. Those who want to return to the office can do so with flexibility. And quite industry changing, anyone in North America who would like to work at BioWare while still being remote from their own location can have that very chance. BioWare increasing their talent pool is absolutely fantastic and can only mean good things for the next game's development. Moreover, Gary also explored that BioWare feels that they have the right people, the right creative focus, and the support from EA to deliver on their promises. Without saying it, I do feel like this is a statement about Matthew Goldman's recent exit as the creative director of Dragon Age 4. Gary Gary McKay was the one who sent that email in the first place. Now, without speculating, Goldman's departure, from an outside perspective, seemed very spontaneous and quite cold. There was no official word from BioWare delivered to the press. The only material that was released was that small email from Gary McKay sent to every single member of the Dragon Age team, explaining that Matthew Goldman was leaving the studio after a mutual agreement, along with Gary emphasizing that EA and BioWare's commitment to a high-quality Dragon Age game has not wavered, and they will not ship a game that is not up to BioWare standards. EA's executive team have absolute confidence in the leadership at the studio and the current people working on this game to carry forward their vision. Now, I'll come back to Goldman's departure in the next story. However, according to Gary McKay, it seems like the Dragon Age team is still in very much capable hands, following a great creative focus. The leadership teams will not release a Dragon Age entry that is not up to BioWare standards. So, while the Goldman situation is largely ominous and most likely will remain that way, at least the development of the next Dragon Age hasn't wavered, and we can trust in the teams who are creating the next game. I suppose for me, I just hope that Matthew Goldman is doing okay. Alas, we don't know what happened in that situation, and so at the moment it's probably best just to not speculate and see what comes out in the future. As it stands, the current vision of the next Dragon Age remains focused on a single player experience that is built on choices that matter, as highlighted by Gary in this article, which is honestly exactly what we all want to hear. It sounds very, very promising. I just hope that the teams can keep with that promise. But overall, this was a very optimistic article to start this year off, with plenty of insights into the current development of the next Dragon Age. I also appreciated those little few Mass Effect tidbits in there, and if you didn't know, I do already have a brand new What's Next for Mass Effect in 2022 where I go over that poster again if you'd like a quick breakdown on that. But overall, yeah, I really appreciate Gary's article and the confidence that he has in BioWare and their commitment to creating strong BioWare games. Here's hoping that we hear more about Dragon Age 4 this year and we're able to grasp more of that vision. Now moving on, once more referring to Matthew Goldman's spontaneous departure, Dragon Age writer Mary Kirby tweeted about what exactly a creative director should be doing. This was at the time in regards to Ken Levine's shocking state of game development. However, I personally think that this also relates to Matthew Goldman's creative direction. Now I could be wrong, so just take this as is. Mary tweeted, "For those who need to know this, a creative director is like the coach for a sports team. Their job is not to tell each team member what to do and how to do it. That is not possible in the daily pace of game dev. Their job is to get their team to work together well. Directors make the call on whether a given piece of game content fits the overall plan for the game and whether it meets quality to ship. They work to get their teams to reach their fullest potential. If they're not doing those things, either because they constantly change their minds or because nothing is good enough or because they don't care about the team itself, they are bad directors. Period. End. Stop. The vision doesn't matter. Ideas are cheap. Implementation is hard." Now I don't really have much to add to this, but based on what Mary has said, it certainly paints a picture of what could have potentially happened recently within BioWare. I have no clue, but regardless, I do appreciate these insights, especially about the creative vision there, because a lot of us, including myself, have been worried about what will happen without Matthew Goldman's creative vision. Who will be leading this vision now? Is it EA's? Is it Goldman's? Is it Mike Laidlaw's age-old Joplin vision? But as stated by Mary, ideas and vision don't matter. It's all about the implementation. So I really do appreciate those creative director insights. And here's hoping whoever is leading the Dragon Age team as a creative director next can maintain those attributes. On a much lighter note, Alex Kalaros excitedly announced that he is joining the Dragon Age team. He's super proud to be a part of the studio's next chapter. Alex has plenty of experience writing, directing and editing, so perhaps he'll be joining the narrative side of development. In any event, Alex, when you join the Dragon Age team next month, we are absolutely wishing you the best time at BioWare working on the next Dragon Age. And wrapping this news update up with my final news story, in the opposing direction, senior designer Graham Scott announced his departure on LinkedIn. Huge thanks to Pedro on Twitter for sending this story to me. Graham Scott posted, "At just under 15 years, BioWare has been a huge part of my professional and personal life. I've raised my kids from toddlers to teenagers in that time, and just like them, I have grown in ways I could have never predicted. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of my continuing journey on to the next chapter." Same goes for you, Graham. We're all wishing you the absolute best on your next chapter, and thank you so much for your 15 years of commitment spent at BioWare. And with that, ladder that'll do it for my first Dragon Age news update of 2022. Hopefully, this year will be a lot more exciting as BioWare plan to talk about the next Dragon Age. It feels like we're going to be in for quite an exciting year, so plenty of things to just get hyped about. Let me know all of your thoughts on each of these stories. How are you feeling about this soft update from Gary McKay? What are your thoughts on Matthew Goldman's departure? And what would you like to see from BioWare this year? As per usual, I'd love to hear every single thing you're thinking about in the comments down below. I think at this point, I'm just hoping for a title this year. Like, I don't need gameplay or a CGI trailer. I'd just like an official Dragon Age title this year, please. So here's hoping we can get that. But of course, you're already in the right place for all of your Dragon Age news updates when we have them. Until the next one, I've been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.